Okay, we're going to show the video driving up Bon Carbo Canyon. What we call it is the name. It's actually 57.7 on the road sign. And I've got county maps I can share with you. I'll be showing the drive going up Bon Carbo Canyon here. So, and then it'll be added to different properties. So I'll give you pictures of the canyon as we drive up. And this pavement goes for, I don't know, about 8-9 miles. A long ways up the canyon, and the county keeps throwing more pavement down every couple of years. So that makes it real nice. That turn right there we just took, we took it at the town of Cokedale, Colorado. It's about 7 miles west on the highway. Sprinkling a little bit from these high cirrus clouds, or whatever you call them. We've come a few miles up Bon Carbo Canyon, County Road 57.7, and up here, after the pavement ends, there's an old post office. And the properties, you can go to different properties to the right and to the left. Today we'll be going to the left, right at the old post office. Pretty driving up this canyon. You start to see the West Spanish Peak in the background. Or in the foreground, or background. It looks about that big, maybe a little bit bigger. The video camera shows everything a little bit smaller. We're about to leave the pavement coming up Bon Carbo Canyon, County Road 57.7. There's the volunteer fire department firehouse. It's a good marker when you're driving up. And then right up here, we're going to stay left right after the pavement ends and go further up on, I believe it turns into County Road 30.1, and go up further into the hills here to look at properties along this road. And there's other ways you can get to these properties too. You don't have to come up this road, but this is basically, for most of them, this is the shortest way. So here's the old post office on the left. And we're just gonna keep going straight. Okay, we've come a little bit further up after taking a left to the post office, up County Road 30.1, I believe we're on now. And if you take a right there, that goes into a ranch called Spanish Highlands. We're not going to that one today. May go to it next time. I think it was 40.5 that takes you into Spanish Highlands. We're going to be driving through. This is county maintained year-round road. This is a pretty shot right here. It's one of the best in the area when you're just driving around. Those are the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to the west. We're headed west right now, and they look again about that big. You can see a lot of the range. Yep. Watch out for those. Okay, come around this little turn. We're still on 30.1. If you take a left right here, that'll take you back down to Highway 12. That's 53.5. Okay, we came up Bon Carbo Canyon, and now we stayed left at the post office. We're on County Road 30.1. After we come around this bend up here, we're going to come to the State Wildlife Area sign, or you can take a right and go up into there, or you can continue on County Road 30.1 and end up in La Garita. That's 5 and 10 acre ranch subdivision. And you can work your way back down to Highway 12 down Sarcillo Canyon once you hit La Garita. So all these roads just kind of intertwine. I'll show you the state wildlife sign here in just a second. Okay, come around this little turn here. We're coming to the state wildlife sign. Okay, once you get to this state wildlife sign here, you just keep going straight. You don't go left. That'll take you back to Highway 12 in a longer route. We came up from Bon Carbo. You see the Spanish Peak State Wildlife Area. The entrance is about a couple miles past where we're going to be taking a right to go to this 35 acres. We're on County Road 43.5, and this is a real pretty valley. Got a lot of animals and wildlife in this area at this elevation. It's a nice elevation. So the property itself has a giant metal building on it with all the materials you need to insulate the whole inside. It's got a massive concrete slab with a with in-floor heating all hooked up in there. There's solar panels in a storage unit that can be hot water solar panels that could be put up, and you could heat the whole building. There's a small little area that's plumbed with water, a toilet, brand new washer and dryer in the building, and that could be easily and there's gas lines. That could be easily turned into a small apartment just to start off, or a house on that side of the building, and you'll see that in a little bit. There's a water well with 2 giant concrete cisterns. There's a fifth wheel RV, and lots of other stuff, a forklift, lots of building materials all over the property, large chunks of metal. Those could be scrapped and sold if somebody wanted to do that, or use them to build a house. That's what he was going to do, use it for the framing of the house they're going to build out in front of the barn. There's a lot of clearing that was done to create this property. There's a ton of gravel that was put down all around the front, outside the metal building. And what else? Power's about a quarter mile away. It'd probably take 7-8 poles to bring regular power up there. There's old solar panels, but all the batteries are shot. You'd have to get new batteries to start that system up. But like I say, power's not too far away. And what else? No, there's just a lot of stuff to this this place, but especially with what you get. Oh, God, that wasn't good. So I'll show you the right-hand turn here in a second. You just keep coming up 40, was it 43.5? Stay on this road, and there's a little ranch right around this corner. And I'll be showing you the drive to the property, through the property, and then I'll be flying my drone over the property. And the Spanish Peaks, the mountains in the background back there, like I say, the wildlife is up that wildlife area is up that direction. It's not that far. And the Spanish Peaks, the views they're huge. I'm not going to zoom in while I'm driving, but maybe I will. They look, we're fixed to take a right here. They look about like that when you're driving up. And this little ranch right here, when you come around this corner, this is where we're going to take a right to go to the property. Pretty valley. Got a lot of elk and deer in this area. And of course you can just go up the road and go hunting on the wildlife area. About 5-7 minutes from this property. We're going to take a right here. We're going to go a couple miles up in here, and this property's basically at the end of this road back up in here. So it's very private too. And I'll just show clips of the drive as we're going up. So we're headed up this valley here. Okay, we've only gone about a mile after taking that right, and you can see the sign for Whispering Pines Estates. That's what this 35 acres is in. And right after you see that sign, we take the first right, and we're going to go around this hill and back up over there. So right here, this cabin, take a right. Just stay on this main road here until we get to another Y up here, and then we're gonna let me think about that. Nope, then we're gonna take a left to go into the property at the end of this road. About another mile up here. Okay, there's a gas well right there, and I believe the last power pole is right there at that well. And you can see this old windmill on the right. We're gonna come up here and take a left. Well, as soon as we take a left, we're onto the southern portion of the property. The southeastern corner comes down to this grassy meadow area over here. I think right there. And now we're on the property, and we're headed up to the building. A little bit of snow sitting in here. We've had some pretty good snows this year, but you can see it melts off really well. We have an average 50-degree winter temperature. So like today I'm in a sweatshirt and jeans. Great time to saw up wood and stuff. Now the barn and stuff's right up on top of the hill here. And there's an old Jeep trail road that needs to be improved that goes up through this direction and goes to they're also selling a piece of property that borders to the west, that borders this property. And that old road right there takes you all the way to the top of that the property to the west of this one. And this is the driveway. Lots of trees, and you can see the terrain is not real steep. Actually all the way through here. And there's hot water solar heating panels inside there. They're supposed to go up on the rack on the front of the building. Solar panels over there. Like I say, the fifth wheel comes with it. And this is south. We drove in from that direction. Okay, we'll get out and take a look around. Okay, we're starting on the front edge of the property, or out in front of the building, and to show you around a little bit. There's some really neat big sandstone formations in here. We came in from this direction. This is the property going down where I was showing you when we were coming in on the road. And right down in there, it's nice and gentle. If you look at the topo map with a little tree machine, or just you can make four-wheeler trails all through this property. See, that would be the western boundary line. It goes right over the top of that hill right there and goes way back here, and there's a road that when we go back out and when we're done here, we'll drive to the gas well that's on the back portion of the property. What's really nice about that is that it gives you a road access all the way through your property. He has all kinds of water spigots and connections coming from the two cisterns on top of the hill behind here. And there's a set of solar panels here. Like I say, the batteries are in the boxes there, and they're all shot. Another rack for solar panels. There's some of these sandstone formations, and they just kind of go all around here. The water well is up behind the cisterns. So a set of small solar panels for the RV. Some of the tires are shot on this side. He had somebody come up and clean this out, take all the carpets out and stuff, because the pack rats had gotten into it. They haven't been in here in like 14 years. Clean the place up so it's ready to be remodeled. They put rat bait and stuff in here, and I can still see a little bit of probably new rat poo. And he had the ceiling sealed as well. You can say it ate up some of the walls from leaking. But this could be fixed up. But he did have the roof on the outside sealed with a good quality rubber cement to stop the leaking. Anyway, everybody knows what a refrigerator looks like. So the carpets have all been taken out. Nice little shower. And of course took out the mattress to the bed too. And you can see some of the piping. Both of the cisterns are up here on top of the hill, and the well's right behind it. So there's not a lot of long distance to have to maintain anything, and there's valves in here to shut water on and off. There's also water right over to the RV. Gas and water go into here, and on this end of the building is where it's plumbed for an apartment. You got 2 roll-up doors and a third one in here. I don't know how good the light's gonna be. A lot of tools, equipment. You can see it's a brand new washer and dryer, has never been used. Hot water heater's never been used. Toilet's never been used, but it's all plumbed to a septic too. I forgot about that. Septic's out that direction. So you have a lot to this place. And you see how he built it. And you'll see all the other building materials out back. He was going to build a house out front using steel for the framing. There's a generator in here, there's a wood stove, there's just all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff up there. And all these panels, you can see, he started insulating the walls, and you can insulate this whole thing. And also, this concrete floor is about 8 inches thick. I think he said 8 to 10 inches, very thick. And there's windows over there for a house he was going to build. This forklift comes with it. It runs. All kinds of materials. Yeah, you can make this over here a house. He even put some stairs in it if you wanted to make an upstairs for it too. Put some windows in the side of the building over there. Lots of hanging lights for the inside of the building. Fluorescent lights you can hang. Okay, let's and like I say, down in that little yellow shed is the solar hot water heating panels. I'm going to show you the materials back here, and I'm going to fly my drone over the property. You like to work with heavy metal. There's some old beams, another pipe. A cement dumper for a crane. And you have all these metal I-beams and poles. A lot of it there. Deer tracks, elk, turkey. So the western boundary line is going to run. There's the water well, and the western boundary line runs through about right here. For about, I don't know, a quarter mile, I guess. It's pretty long that going that way. And the eastern boundary line is on the other side of the road. We'll be driving up into the property. Get some views up here. Love the sandstone formations. You just don't see those a bunch. 2 cisterns. Some metal missing on the edge there. We do get high winds around here every once in a while. Okay, I'm gonna go down and fly my drone. Okay, we're just coming back down the drive. I say there's nice gravel and all this. It doesn't take much to plow, you know, a good sized four-wheeler with a blade usually. And there's neighbors around that are real nice that help with things. So what we're gonna do, we're still on the property. I'm gonna take it left and go further in the property along the gas well road. And as long as the gas well will probably be here another 15, 20, 25 years maybe. The 15, 20 I would say. And for now they plow everything. And the property's on the right hand side and the left, and the building we just came off the site right up there. It's not real steep or anything. You can, like I was saying before, you can make four-wheeler trails all through this. And the land, once we get up here to the gas well, it goes a lot further. It goes a lot further past the well. You can see that on the aerial map that I've got on my site there. We're just down below in the valley, but up there on that bench, it's all pretty flat stuff. You could use a skid steer with a tree cut shearer and clean out a lot of this if you wanted to. There's some big sandstone formations again over there through the trees. I should put my seatbelt on and quit digging. So you can see the land going back behind the gas well here. You see the tree tops, they're not real steep. So this land wouldn't be too hard to fence actually. And the gas well runs off of the methane gas coming out of the ground. Oh, don't want to hit it. Too sharp turn, 4-wheel drive. Okay. And that's about it. That's what a gas well looks like. It sounds about like a Volkswagen running. A V6 motor. Yeah, you're at the end of the road back up in here. I saw a ton of deer tracks, a few elk up there, and a little bit of turkey. Here at the end of the canyon in here. Really private, and since no one's been around in here for a while, I'm sure their animals are pretty comfortable. Okay. Now we're just gonna be driving back out now. And don't forget about that wildlife area. It's not very far from here either. You can see the eastern boundary line by a fence down there, and it leads to where we drove in initially. Okay, we are at the roof.